Today's episode of Chat and Chew is sponsored by Big, the brand agency.
Well, hello, everybody. I'm so excited to be with you today. My name is Ricky Harrell, and today I am here doing this very, very special episode highlighting fatherhood. And I'm about to do an interview with two very special individuals. But before I do that, I have the privilege of owning Big, the brand agency. And I do a lot of work with Fathers Forever. I get to kind of go behind the scenes and really be a part of the formation of a lot of the programs, a lot of the things that you see come out of this amazing organization. So I'm proud. I'm extremely proud to be a part of it. I'm extremely proud to support it. But I think this is a huge and momentous occasion that we get to highlight and recognize the founder and executive director of Fathers Forever. I'm about to take you into an interview where we have a conversation where hopefully by the end of it, you will have a better insight and look into what this organization and vision, Healing Fathers and Saving Families, is all about.
Please make sure you follow us on Facebook, like and subscribe to our YouTube channel, and of course, hit the bell to activate notifications that will remind you when we're on. Please be sure to leave us a comment to let us know how we're doing. We'd love to hear from you.
Hello, everyone. This is Glenn Warren, founder and executive director of Fathers Forever. I want to share an alarming reality with you. 627,000 fathers are incarcerated that have kids under 18. Now, there are 56,000 moms incarcerated who have kids under 18. The reality is there are so many more fathers incarcerated than moms. This is why I Am a Father Forever book exists. Now, I need your help. I am inviting you to help us get this book into as many fathers incarcerated as possible. Here's how it works. For your donation of $22, we will provide a book to an incarcerated father. Thank you in advance for helping Fathers Forever heal fathers and save families.
I'm excited to be here. This is a special piece that we're doing today, focusing on fatherhood. You know, Fathers Forever is all about healing fathers and saving families. And what better way to do that than for you to get an internal look into the originators, the progenitors, the very Dr. Glenn Warren himself. I have two very special guests today that I'm going to introduce you to. I've had the privilege of working with Fathers Forever over the years, and I've had a front row seat to see how the vision and the strategy has unfolded and grown and matured and evolved into what it is today. But it's important for you to understand origin and where things started and where things come from. And so that's what we're doing today. And so I'm going to introduce you to two very, very important people. And I'm going to let them tell you who they are in relation to our founder and executive director, Glenn Warren.
My name is Celeste Warren.
I'm G.
And G stands for?
Glenn.
So Glenn got a namesake, everybody. Glenn's got a namesake, and everybody calls him G. Now, where do y'all fall in line between the middle and the oldest child?
I'm the oldest.
You're the oldest.
I am the youngest and only daughter.
You're the youngest and only daughter.
Yep, 2 older brothers, 1 younger brother.
So G, you're the oldest of everybody, and you're the youngest. Now, who's the boss?
Me.
I figured that's kind of how I felt.
Yes, absolutely.
That's kind of how it was. Being that, of course, everybody knows Glenn Warren is your father, but you all have children of your own, correct?
Yes.
How many children do you each have?
I have 3. My daughter is 18. My son is turning 18. And then we have a 4-year-old. He's about to turn 5.
You said 18, and 4? Woo! All right, Celeste.
And I have 2 children. My son is 11 and my daughter is 7.
Your daughter is 7. So growing up, the story of Fathers Forever really starts with, for what most of us understand it started with him writing everything down on a napkin. But the context for him writing everything down on a napkin really it started with him entering into single fatherhood himself. And he talks about it often, his experience, with raising 3 kids as a single father. And he kind of used that as the bedrock of a lot of the things that we've seen and heard him teach over the years. So a lot of the curriculum, how does it feel, first off, to know that a lot of the home and life experiences that you all had with him are now like life principles and curriculums and things that are taught to people? How does that like affect you in any kind of way?
Makes sense to me.
It makes sense.
My brother's not a man of many words. I think it's awesome. Growing up, I don't think we really realized the impact that what he did as a father, being a single father, would have in today's time.
Yeah.
So it's pretty awesome.
Because oftentimes when we think about something, we use this term that I don't like that we use in culture. We talk about overnight successes and we talk about, things being big or successful. But I really feel like the way you spell success is steady. That the only time something is really successful is when you do it consistently for an extended period of time well. And for him to raise you all, and y'all turned out okay. Mm-hmm. And so for him being a father now, teaching fathers, I know that when y'all were growing up, it wasn't Dr. Glenn Warren at home. You know what I'm saying? So what was the relationship like with, number one, what did y'all call him? Was it just dad, daddy? Was it hello, father? like, how did y'all relate? What was the relational dynamic at home with Dr. Glenn?
Go ahead.
Well, I called him daddy, still do.
Still do, okay.
Yeah. The relationship with me and my dad, it was different for me, probably because I was the only girl.
Your daddy's girl.
Yeah, I probably got away with a little more, but he was also very strict and very stern on the things that he would and wouldn't let me do.
Okay. How was it for you? Was it the same experience or was it a little bit tougher?
Oh, no. My experience is totally different.
Totally different.
Anything, I'd say he was harder on me than anybody else.
Right.
So I say all the time, my childhood wasn't like most kids' childhood. I was responsible for my younger brother, my younger sister. He worked second shift, so he worked from like 2 to 11, but he'll come home middle of the day. So I had to come home, make sure everybody was straight, clean dishes, clean the house.
Right. So you had like a responsibility.
Yeah. It was put on me early on.
Yeah. Did he try and boss y'all around growing up?
I wouldn't say boss him around, but at the same time,
he did.
A little bit. He bossed us around a little bit.
Did y'all listen to him?
Depending on the day, how we felt.
Depending on the day.
Yeah.
They fell in line.
They fell in line. That's what I like to hear. Because, the story of who he is and how he raised y'all and all the principles that, he puts in the book, and I've seen him in classes with different men, telling different stories. It's important to know that he's not a novice at this, that he's somebody who's been doing this for a while. And so if you could give me, I know it's probably many things that you've probably amassed being raised by him and being in the house with him, but what's like 2 key takeaways, whether they're statements or lessons that your father has taught you that still sticks with you to this day? It's like 2 big things or 2 big impacts. It could be a quote that he said to you. It could be a time in your life where he showed up where you needed him. Whatever that is, tell me, like, what are 2 moments that you can vividly remember? It could be a fun moment or whatever it is, but what's 2 moments that you've had with your father that's greatly impacted your life to this point? We'll start with you, Celeste.
I will have to say it is not necessarily a statement. I think it's his actions that I've seen since I was a child. People are going to be who they are. He never strays from who he is. When they go low, he goes high. And I'm sure plenty of people have heard him say that. And I've seen that in his actions over the years. He never changes. And that's something that I've learned from him. Still working on, but but that's something that I've seen that he's shown me.
Yeah, good stuff.
Just to piggyback a little bit, he walks with integrity. I can name a dozen times that he's been talked about. He still stood there in the midst of all and not on character. He was himself. So I try to do the same thing. I tell these guys that we interact with every day, I'm gonna be the same regardless, just because I can only be myself. So that's the biggest thing. Be who you are and stand on everything, good or bad. Mistakes, great moments, whatever it is, or even in bad decisions. You make a bad decision, own up to it, correct whatever happened, whatever it is, but you need to be accountable for everything you do. He was accountable for a lot of things growing up. Some things I didn't realize until I got older and had kids of my own.
Yeah.
Now I understand why he did what he did, and he had a good role model. He set a good example for me. So I have to set a good example for my boys as well, even my nephews.
Absolutely. And that's really important. That's really key. When you talk about your father, when you talk about Glenn Warren, what would you say are the, you already gave some attributes already, but what would you say are the key qualities that really make him who he is? Because one thing I can attest to is Glenn Warren is authentically Glenn Warren. You know what I'm saying? Like he only knows how to be himself. And I think that's rare. And I think that's special that when you, especially in the culture we live in a time where everybody is imitating and trying to be like somebody else. And very often you come across a person that's like a breath of fresh air when they know who they are. And not only do they know who they are, but they're okay with who they are. Yeah. And they're okay with not being like everybody else. And so when I say the statement, Glenn Warren is unapologetic. He is unapologetic in being who he is. Talk about that from your vantage point, growing up with him. What are the qualities that make him, who he is?
He was stern. And I would never say mean. Stern is a very accurate description of how he handles certain things. He says what he means. He means what he says. That's another thing I learned. Like I don't go back and forth with people. All right, I said it. That's in the discussion. Yeah. And that's because I've learned and seen him say, okay, we're going to do X, Y, and Z. And it ain't no straying from X, Y, and Z. Mm-hmm. So being stern and, walking, being on the island by yourself. Like it's me growing up, even now, I realize back then I was different from everybody else that I hung around just because I picked up certain traits from him that I didn't realize that I was picking up. Mm-hmm. I never fit in with the crowd. I had friends in every demographic, every setting, good, bad, but I never clicked to just one thing. I always stood individually, and that's because that's the example that he said, like stand on your own 2 feet. And I've been doing it since I can remember. Whether I knew I was doing it or not, I was doing it.
Yeah, that's good stuff. How about you?
I agree with everything he said, but I think it's also important to mention that he's kind-hearted. Absolutely. So while he was stern, he was still kind-hearted.
Absolutely.
Always. Yeah.
Always.
He has a big heart now. I'm not saying he didn't have it back then, but as a kid growing up, we didn't see it as much as I see it now as I see with the guys he has.
Absolutely.
He would give you every dollar he has in his pocket.
Yeah.
And not think twice about it. That's why I tell everybody, that's why I'm here. Make sure y'all won't get over on him.
Yeah,
I don't have a problem being mean to none of these people. when it comes to it, that's my purpose in his organization, to make sure whatever he thinks, whatever he wants, comes to fruition. I ain't gonna let nobody ruin that.
Yeah. How was it for you all? How was the conversation at home? Was that conversation with you guys saying, hey guys, I'm getting ready to start this organization called Fathers Forever, and here's what I'm going to be doing? How much, talk a little bit about the knowledge you had of that process, because you all had a front row seat too. You all, were there from day one of it. And so what was it like, especially seeing what it's grown to? How was it for you guys, like hearing, like how did it, because he wrote it on a napkin. I know, like, we know he wrote it on a napkin, but what are the juicy details that we don't know about how was it for you guys being in the house with him, seeing him, put this thing together brick by brick?
For me, that's a hard question because actually I was living in Greensboro at the time.
Okay.
So their meetings, their foundational meetings, all of that stuff, I wasn't here for a lot of it. Now I got, updated.
Yeah.
This is the process. This is where we are. This is what we're doing. But all the nitty gritty stuff, I wasn't there for, only because I was in Greensboro at the time.
So, but at the moment when you really caught like the idea of like, here's what I'm doing like, when was the first time you heard the name Fathers Forever and got the definition of what it would be?
Oh gosh, years ago, probably not too long after he wrote it on the napkin.
Okay.
He called and told me about it.
And people who don't talk to Glenn Warren, when he got an idea, he calling you like he riding on top of a rainbow.
Yeah,
like, I got an idea, it's gonna be big. I mean, he talk about it like it's already a multi-billion-dollar thing before it started. How about you? How was it for you hearing about it and learning about the vision and the plan for it?
Well, I mean, yes, we're the same in certain ways. He told everybody, but he told everybody in his inner circle. So he told a select few certain things. And then as it got bigger, everybody was made aware of it. So when I came in, they was on, what's the name of that street? Off of Glass Clock?
Yeah.
Off Glass Clock. So coming in, seeing a storefront, then going to the flea market mall, seeing that it had suits, starting with suits, selling suits, and it catalyzed to where he is now. Just the growth that been the last 10 years, even the last 4 years that I've been involved with it. We went from, I ain't gonna say a small organization to large, but it's growing. It's grown substantially in the last 4 years.
Yeah, that's amazing. Because I've always wanted to know. I'm trying to engage the home experience because that's what people don't get to see. We want to know Superman when he take his cape off.
I mean, I can give you a bunch of stories.
I mean, you gotta give me a whole lot of stories, but there's one particular story that I know that you all can give me a lot of insight on. I've heard your dad over the years talk about these experiences about how when he came into single fatherhood, one of the things that in hindsight, one of the things that he can easily admit that wasn't his strong suit was cooking. And I just want to talk about it a little bit. And I want you guys to share with me, if I understand it correctly, he had 2 meals in his bag, pretty much.
Yes.
And so I just want to corroborate this story and confirm for myself the truth and the validity to these facts. How was your father as a cook? And how did y'all survive and make it? Was he a good cook or okay cook? Talk about it. Tell me the details.
I think we survived because I got in the kitchen and figured it out. Okay, that's what it is. He had his 2 meals, his chicken and rice and his beans and ham hock that he could cook. It wasn't bad meals. And I know he tells the story all the time, and I'm sure you've heard the story where we're in the kitchen trying to cook spaghetti and he doesn't drain the grease off the meat. And just like he said, that's when I realized I'm gonna either get in this kitchen and learn how to cook, or we're not gonna make it.
Right.
So yeah, he told the truth. He had 2 good meals, and that was about it. We had a lot of KFC, a lot of Hardee's.
A lot of Hardee's.
Yeah. Arby's roast beef sandwiches, 4 for $5. We ate what we could.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But you made it and you're alive, and that's all that matters now. We're not here to talk about how well of a cook he is. We're here to talk about how well of a father he is. But every time he tells that story, it generates a response. But at the same time, it produces a level of respect and I think encouragement to other fathers that you don't have to have all the answers to accept the call to be a father. That fatherhood is really learn as you go. It's as you're moving and as you are putting one foot in front of the other, you're gonna have some shortcomings. And give me that. How resilient is your father when it comes to seeing him, be disappointed, seeing him get knocked down? Talk about his resilience and what you've seen in him over the years.
I mean, I can think of one simple word: faith.
Faith.
Like faith in God is what sustained him in all the situations that we've been through. These are the ones I remember, the ones I didn't know about. Because as a child, you don't know about everything that goes on in the household.
Right.
All you see is certain things. So even now, when we have trials and tribulations, we dive about certain things as one being, and as two, because we're a big organization. So we talk about things that go on within the organization. So see how he handles everything that we go through. He can still keep a smile on his face, push forward. I can't help but to feel like everything's going to be all right. I say it all the time, like, I've learned from watching him that faith is the biggest thing that hits home for me, meaning, okay, I know when it's all said and done, I'm going to end up on the other side.
Yeah.
Just because everything we went through, everything he's been through, we always came out on the other side, even when you can't see it. I don't have to see it. That's what faith is.
Come on,
so I'm on the other side, regardless of how long it takes me to get there, regardless of whether I see it or not.
That's good stuff. How about you?
I agree with what he said, but I think it's also important to mention that even when he was knocked down, he never let it show when we were kids. He kept pushing, kept fighting. And I think it shows that he said he wasn't going to leave his kids. He's taking his kids with him. He would not be without them, or we wouldn't be without him, excuse me. So all goes back to resilience and having lots of faith. Yeah. He probably was scared, didn't know what to do, didn't know how he was going to do it, but he did it.
That's amazing. When you see Fathers Forever today, that's branched off into, initially really taken off as a method of intervention for men who are about to enter into the system for non-support. Your dad having this program that was pretty much a beacon saying, hey, don't incarcerate them, send them to my program. Starting there to now being Fathers Forever University, which is being offered online, available everywhere, transitional housing, a temp agency, a food closet, a clothing closet, my daddy's car wash, which you are a part of, and probably many other things, transitional housing, a number of things. And I'm sure there's things even now that I'm not even remember. Authentic Fatherhood is getting ready to come out. There's always something happening and evolving. What does Fathers Forever mean to you all today at this moment?
For me, at this point, bigger than just one person.
Yeah.
It's going to be one of the things to where 10 years from now, name's still going to be there, whether they know his name or not. So now it's just the trajectory that we're on. Tell everybody it's bigger than me. It's bigger than him at this point. He set motion to something that's far greater than what he imagined it to be. And it wouldn't get to the point that he's at without him being the spearhead to everything.
Yeah. How about you?
It means the world to me because he's doing what he loves. It's his passion, and he's living it every day. I can't ask for more than for him to be happy.
Let's end on a light note. What is Papa Glenn versus Dad Glenn? Is there a difference? Have you all noticed the difference?
Absolutely.
Come on, give me the details. What's the difference? What he let them get away with?
So I look at it as us three. We was all 2 years apart from each other. We all right behind each other. The difference is now he's older. He's more mature. And I just look at my son. My oldest son is turning 18. My younger one is 4. I'm totally different with both of them just because
right, you got to say
I was on them all the time. The other one, as long as he ain't breaking nothing, like cry, whatever. Like until you start crying, until something breaks, you can have at it. And I said all to say this. Now he can express different things. We won't allow to express certain things growing up. We was taught to be a certain way, and he carried himself as much. But now, as he's older, he realizes, okay, yes, I can hug my grandkids.
Uh-huh.
I can kiss them. I can laugh. I can joke. I can do all those things. Not saying he didn't do it with us,
Right.
but it's more frequent, and that's what they know him as.
Yeah.
They don't know him as the stern father that they see it every once in a while when he raises his voice or he says something sternly to him. But overall, it's fun and games with him.
Yeah, definitely. And it's definitely that grandkid relationship. They get everything they want.
Mm-hmm.
Papa, can we go to McDonald's? If mommy say no, let's go ask Papa. Papa say yes. You know, that's him. He's that every school play, every award ceremony, he's there. Doesn't miss a beat.
Yeah, like he's still very much a father, and it's evident. And it's just being in between my father and my sons. I definitely feel they let these kids get away with stuff they would never let us get. I mean, never let us get away with. I'm like, where is a man that raised me? But then again, they don't have to raise them. We do. And so they know that. So they get to spoil them, give them candy, give them whatever they want, and send them right back home.
That's right.
To us. But I know that you are, when you look at everything that Fathers Forever is, it's clear that you're proud of your father. And I think it's even more encouraging that you all can be a part of it and that you all can support it. There's so many people who are world changers, and there's so many people who do amazing things, but they're home alone because they didn't take their family with them. I think it's clear, and I think it's evident that your dad took y'all with him. And now he's able to experience not just success in his field of impact, but he also can experience success in his family. The fact that he's got kids around him, the fact that he's got grandkids around him, I'm pretty sure when Papa walks in the room, it's like a movie star walks in the room. I think that's amazing. I think that's a testament. G, you already kind of hit on it a little bit, but our last question, the legacy of Fathers Forever, right? What do you see it being in the next, 10 to 20 years?
Worldwide.
Come on.
Period.
How about you, man?
I mean, same thing. I mean, you don't know who started Pepsi. You just know Pepsi.
I'm telling you.
You don't know who started Nike. You just know Nike. Same thing with Red Cross. It's a nonprofit that, whether you know the organization who runs it, you know the name. Even when I wear my shirt now, I heard of Fathers Forever. They don't know who I am.
Right.
They might, sometimes they don't even know who my father is. They just know the name. The name precedes them, and it's going to continue to be that way.
Yeah. Well, let me say thank you guys for allowing us to come into your business for a little bit and ask y'all some personal questions about, Dad, because y'all didn't have to give me anything, but the fact that y'all gave me something, the fact that y'all gave me something, I appreciate it, because we get to see another angle of Glen Warren that we don't usually get to see. And so I hope for our viewers, those who are watching and listening, I'm hoping that it gives you a greater perspective on Fathers Forever and what this incredible organization is. And hopefully when you hear Fathers Forever, Healing Fathers, Saving Families, you understand not just the organization, but you understand the man behind the organization. And this is why more than ever, we need you to support and we need you to get behind this. We don't have there are very few organizations that are like this. And so when we have someone from our community, in our community, impacting and creating solutions for our community, we need to support it. And so I'm going to ask you to double down. And if you are not a partner of Fathers Forever in any capacity, but specifically the financial capacity, since we're here, I would love for you to support this amazing organization, because there's something new being added. Like almost every other day, there's always some new idea, some fresh vision that is going to undergird the grand vision, which is Healing Fathers and Saving Families. And so that's my time today. I want you to help me thank G and Celeste for sitting down. And we want to say Happy Father's Day to all the amazing dads that we see what you do. We know Mother's Day, they get Super Bowls planned for them, but we want to make it a big Father's Day as well. And I'm praying, dads, you get more than just the necktie this year. I'm praying you get a little bit more in your gift this year. And hopefully this interview has brought some joy and some smiles to your face as we talk about fatherhood, Fathers Forever, and our founder and our executive director, Glenn Warren. Until next time, we'll see you again.
Here's 3 ways you can support our Dads at a Distance initiative. Give a copy to a family member, our friend. Donate monthly, a book monthly, 5 books monthly, how many books you want to do monthly donation. Reverse book signing, your church, your business. You can make a donation go to our website at www.afatherforever.com and go to our PayPal at Fathers Forever. Our Cash App is $Fathers Forever. Make your donation today. Please include in the note section, include DAAD. Again, include in the note section DAAD.
If you or someone you know would like to be a part of the show, please visit our website at www.afatherforever.com or call us at 919-779-9905. The Chat and Chew podcast streams Thursdays at 12 p.m. on YouTube and Facebook. To schedule a reverse book signing or to find out more information about how you can become a part of the programs you heard us mention today, please be sure to stop by our website as well.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Fathers Forever University. My name is Glenn Warren, and I will be your instructor. Fathers Forever University is a remote learning experience where we take our 12-week class, and we meet here every Thursday night from 6 until 7, and we talk about fatherhood. We talk about domestic violence. We talk about where your child support money is going. We teach classes about fatherhood and how important it is to be in your child's life. So these 12 weeks is going to be very important for you guys to understand and the concept of fatherhood and what we're trying to teach you. Fathers Forever University is broken down into 12 weeks, and you can start at any time during those 12 weeks. The key to it is finishing those 12 weeks. Every lesson is in lecture format, where you listen to that lecture, and then on Thursday nights, we discuss that lecture. The Thursday night discussion is where your homework will be due. Part of your homework assignment every Thursday night is to, one, we'll ask you the question, what did you learn? And the second question, how am I going to apply what I learned? We also have specific assignments for each lesson in the notes below. This has been an introduction into Fathers Forever University. Now let's get started in lesson 1.